Republicans have very selective interest on doing oversight or investigation into Epstein-related matters. And their selective interest is Democrats. And so they're trying to get the Clintons to testify. Hillary Clinton just called their bluff and said, you know what? We'll testify, but I have some demands. Trump, meanwhile, is so uncomfortable with any of this being investigated that he's now jumping in between Clinton and Republicans. What? I'm going to show it to you. I think it's a major sign of panic that he doesn't want this to continue, even if it means Republicans go after Democrats, which is what he originally was trying to make the distraction effort relating to the Epstein files to get the heat off of him. But Hillary Clinton said, so let's stop the games. If you want this fight, Comer, let's have it in public. You love to talk about transparency. There's nothing more transparent than a public hearing, cameras on, we will be there. So she's saying, Bill and I, and obviously Bill has a lot of relationship history with Epstein, which is bad. But she's saying, hey, we'll go sit in a public hearing, but don't do any behind closed doors things where you try to twist our words. We want the American people to see it, which I think is interesting. Trump is not saying that, and instead he's saying this.
It is a shame. NBC News broke the story today. I don't know if you saw it, that the Democrats are already saying, if you bring President Bill Clinton and he has to testify, we're bringing President Trump. What do you say to that?
I think they might say that, but they've already brought me. See, I've been brought. They had me indicted many times. Many times. They didn't do that to Clinton.
Do you think if the Democrats...
So that doesn't make any coherent sense. Why won't you go sit for a public hearing in Congress about the Epstein revelations? Has nothing to do with you were indicted for classified documents, trying to steal an election, and a hush money payment. Those two things have nothing to do with each other. But then you have him saying, you know what? Stop bothering Bill. So he went from going, don't bother me, bother Democrats. Now he's going, wait. Democrats are saying if you go after the Clintons, then Democrats are fine with that. They're like, fine, yeah, let's call Democrats. But we're also going to have to call Trump then. And so then now Trump's going, I like Bill Clinton. Let's just move on from this altogether. Just the quickest break from the video to request that you click the subscribe button. As you know, that's an important way to boost the message that we deliver to a larger audience, which is very important. Helps us out, but it's completely free on your end. Just by clicking that subscribe button, you help support our work.
It bothers me that somebody's going after Bill Clinton. See, I like Bill Clinton. I still like Bill Clinton.
What do you like about him?
I liked his behavior toward me. I thought he got me. He understood me. But...
oh, he got you, all right. He got you indeed.
You're my daddy.
You got him. You remember the Bubba story? I don't even really have the energy to think of a joke, but you remember? That's my joke. You remember something about him
load that we've seen
blowing him or whatever? Adam says, well, someone tell Comer that Donald Trump's upset he's going after Bill Clinton. So all of a sudden, the whole plan from Republicans, which was distract from broader transparency by selective investigations into their political enemies in relation to this, now is getting blown up by Trump because he's going, I like Bill. Hey, what the hell? And then the headline, let's have it. Hillary Clinton dares James Comer to hold her Epstein deposition hearing in public. Yeah, do it. We all want to see it. Do it. Now, we get to the interview that you saw Trump in just previously, and I want to show you more clips from that on different topics. Tom Yamas from NBC conducted the interview. I would say it was a mixed bag of how he conducted it. Like one example, I'll show you clips, but just this is the transcript version. Daniel Dale highlighted, where Trump says, Tom, I inherited the worst inflation in the history of our country. It was through the roof. Now you will say it wasn't in history. And Tom says, right. What? It was at what it's at now. Literally. And then Trump says, it was 48 years. You know, there's a theory I say it was the worst, but whether it's 48 years. And then Tom says, right again. And then Trump says, or what, I inherited the worst inflation in the history of our country. Now we have almost no inflation. Think of it. And Tom says, right. And Trump says, you know what it was for the last 3 months? 1.2%. You know what it was under Biden? You can't count that high. And Tom said, yeah. None of that's true. What? Trump, the peak inflation from pandemic conditions was brought way down, and then Trump inherited that, and now it's stayed in a similar direction, but then tariff-sensitive industries have seen price increases. And the trend, I see as he reversed the trend of a cooling that was going on that was significant and kind of reversed that trend. Regardless, though, if you want to give him credit for something, it's that inflation's about what it was when he took over, which is not what he said he was going to do. He was like talking about prices going down, which would be deflation. Then we get to another clip.
Why is Tulsi Gabbard there?
I don't know, but a lot of the cheating comes from it's international cheating. You have people, they say, from China trying to.
You put this on
let me ask
True
you,
Social.
do you think China tries to influence our election?
We know that foreign governments try to influence a lot of things in this country.
Therefore, she's foreign governments.
But
I don't think he meant to say it that way. Maybe she is foreign governments, actually, but that's he means like she's responsible for dealing with foreign government related things. But what that's in relation to is the raid of Fulton County election offices or buildings or the headquarters, because they're going in there, and then Tulsi Gabbard was there trying to prove that the 2020 election, you were the one like way when I was like literally, how old was I? Young. I was a long time ago. I think I still had, never mind. I was a twink, okay? Let me just tell you let me put it that way. Back then I was a twink. That's how long ago it was. And so he's still trying to prove that election was stolen, which he's not going to, but he might lie about what they found or something like that. For some reason, Tulsi Gabbard's there. Tulsi Gabbard says that it's because the president directed her to be there. Then Trump gets asked about it and goes, I don't know why she was there, but I think it's fine. Then he was asked about retruthing a post on Truth Social about Italian satellites, conspiracy theory, changed votes.
You tweeted out some theories about Italians and satellites. I mean, do you believe that stuff?
No, I didn't cheat. I sometimes will retweet.
Yeah.
I will retruth. But
what? Why would you repost something if you don't believe in it? Well, maybe it's because your brain's not working so well, to which Trump says, no.
I feel great. I mean, physically and mentally, I feel like I did 50 years ago. It's crazy. Now, there'll be a time when I won't be able to give you that answer, but that time hasn't come. I do. I think it's very important. I've done more physicals. I take physicals just to give the report out.
Yeah.
I take cognitive physicals, so I do a cognitive. I'm not cognitively.
A cognitive physical.
Person, woman, man, camera, TV.
I take a cognitive physical. Wow.
Yeah.
I take cognitive physicals, so I do a cognitive mind test, okay? And a lot of people wouldn't be able to do very well. Not even.
They make me do a mind test. There's an apple on the table, and I have to see if I can move it with my mind.
A brain. You get to those last questions. I've done 3 of them. No other president has agreed to do them. I do them because I have no problem with it, because I'm 100%.
No other president was asked by their doctors over and over, can you take a cognitive test? Could you take another one now? Well, it seems like it's getting worse. Could you take another one now? And they're not like IQ tests. How cognitively sharp are you in a general sense? They're dementia screening tests from all that we can tell.
Bing, bong, bong, bing, bing, bing.
Can you play that one at the normal pitch?
Bing, bing, bong, bong, bing, bing, bing.
Yeah. I'm 100%. Jedi mind test. We do a cognitive physical. Then about the insane act of him suing his own federal government over his tax returns being leaked in the past, so that the federal government, that are our tax dollars, will pay him $10 billion as a person.
Essentially, the lawsuit's been won. I guess I want a lot of money.
How would this work, though? Scott Bessent's the head of the IRS.
I know. What I would
Pam
do-
Bondi's the head of the Justice Department. They're going to defend the IRS against you.
I
You're
know,
their
it's
boss.
well, there's never been anything like it, in all fairness.
So are you gonna
there's
tell them to
never
pay you?
Don't forget, I sued as a private citizen because I sued between terms. I won
But are you
3
gonna tell them to
times.
pay you?
I won 3 times, but
Yeah.
I didn't assume, unfortunately for this country, I didn't assume office the second time. But here's the story. I sued because they broke into Mar-a-Lago. That was before I became president. Now it goes along, and it turned out that the suit is a very strong suit.
You're going to tell them to pay you, though? Because you're their boss.
Well, what I would do, tell them to pay me, but I'll give 100% of the money to charity. I don't want any of the money.
You take it out of the system. A couple more.
I'll give $1,000 to charity if he actually ends up giving any of that money to charity. He is notorious for saying he'll give money to charity and he doesn't. Because no one checks it. He goes, I'll give it to charity. Then the federal government and some random transfer sends him billions and then he just leaves it.
Questions here.
No, I'm putting it back into the system.
Yeah.
If I give money to American Cancer Society, I will give 100% of the money away to charity. I don't want any of it.
$30 trillion debt, and we're going to take $10 billion out of the system?
Well, I mean, you give it away anyway. They give away a lot of money.
Okay, let me show you something. This is him suing the IRS. IRS annual budget. Let's see. The IRS annual budget's around $12.3 billion, and he wants them to pay him $10 billion for his tax returns getting leaked. And guess what wouldn't have happened if he had, like all the other presidents running for office, release his tax returns voluntarily? They wouldn't have been leaked. So he wants like the entire budget of the IRS to be given to him as an individual because he'll donate it to the Cancer Society. No, he won't.
Bullshit.
You think the guy who is the most corrupt president we've ever had financially, like if you just look at the numbers, how much he's raking in through what could very obviously be quid pro quos, you think that guy would give up 10 bill? No. He's not giving up 10 bill. He might like Bill, but he's not giving up 10 of Bill Clinton. You know, so we keep charging forward. Then Trump gets asked if he will trust the midterm results.
Will you trust the results of the midterms if Republicans lose control of Congress?
I will, if the elections are honest. Look, I want...
Okay, so if he agrees with the election results, and then of course, you know, he has to remind us, he has the best blood.
I'm 100%. Now, there will be a
Still taking the
time-
aspirin? Still taking the aspirin?
I do. I take aspirin, and I don't want to change. You know, I don't want to.
So you go against your doctor's orders. You do what you kind of feel.
You know, I've been taking aspirin for 30 years, and I don't want to change it. So you know, they say take the smaller one. I say, well, I want that blood to be nice and thin running through my heart.
If at any point
He's taking more than his doctor's advising him, a lot more, because he doesn't want thick blood pulsing, but thin blood. And then he's seemingly understanding why it's important to listen to a doctor's recommendation, because they know a little bit more about what the aspirin's doing and what it's not doing than you do. So he, I guess for 30 years has been overtaking aspirin. Maybe that is the secret. I don't know. Oh my gosh. And then we'll just look at one other clip. He kind of finally admits maybe he's lying about his poll numbers.
Getting very good polls on crime prevention, on law and order, and on the border. I have to. And I'm starting to get great polls on the economy, which I think
the
is
polls
our
on the
biggest-
economy aren't they're not great.
They should be great.
They should be. So
People
why aren't they?
don't know.
If you believe that,
I don't know. I mean, look, I've got
Americans tell us we hear this. I mean, we're going to get into the economy later, but I mean,
And then he says $18 gazillion of benefits. Okay, so he kind of goes, they should be, which is the first time he's acknowledged that whenever he says his poll numbers are better than they've ever been, he's lying, even though he probably, if you went back and clarified with him, would not admit that. So that's Trump's completely wacky interview.